Hello everyone, welcome back to Kandid Koffee. Today I have Stepan Partamian with me, a man who needs no introduction even though I'm introducing him. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Just start.
I know, right? You gotta get it all out and then finally you'll have a good take. Okay.
He doesn't need any introduction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce him.
I'm gonna introduce him anyway. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Kandid Koffee. I'm here with a man who needs no introduction, but I want to welcome Borchuin. Thank you for being here, Stepan Jan. I'm so happy you're in LA.
Pari Luis, and I'm not your John. I am your Hokis.
Sorry, Hokis.
John
Yes.
is a Persian word. Pakistanis use it, Afghans use it, Persians use it. All those people, any Persian language-related country uses it.
Okay.
We Armenians have the same word in Armenian, which is Hokis.
Okay,
Pari Luis.
Pari Luis. Okay, I'm gonna work on that.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be Hokis from now on.
Exactly, that's so beautiful. It's ours.
We had spoken a while back. We had agreed on doing this interview just about 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. We were planning on what we were going to talk about, all your accomplishments, and then we got hit with this very horrendous and unexpected and life-altering situation back home.
We like to deny reality. We are in an imaginary land of
Okay.
who we are. But the reality is you are landlocked, you have enemies, and if you have enemies and you're landlocked, you're gonna have war. I'm a very positive person when it becomes to logical aspects. But whenever people are very emotional, I see all the mistakes that they do. Therefore, I have an advantage on seeing all the mistakes.
And you
But-
want to address it and correct it.
Well, yeah, it's so unfortunate that today everybody wants to do something. That's a noble cause. It's emotional. People go to pray emotional. People demonstrate emotional.
Right.
But when you do something as far as donating your money or donating the supplies, the real supplies, not that you feel that
They need water.
they need chewing gum.
Yeah.
Okay, and you bring chewing gum for people to send to Armenia.
Right.
I mean, that's emotional, but you can't progress. And therefore, we need to be more realistic instead of being emotional. I did not go to the demonstrations on Wednesday
Okay.
because I don't feel it. It's been almost 20 years that I talk against demonstrations. And
Okay.
what did we achieve in a demonstration?
Okay, but-
I don't pray. What did we achieve in prayers till now?
Right.
But I volunteer my time, 24 hours, 30 hours, whatever it is,
Right.
to organize either donations coming to the organization assigned by the Armenian government, or the goods that needs to be transferred, which was assigned, and there is a list. It's not that there is a list.
Well, there are things that they're demanding, but let
Exactly.
me just say one thing. I understand what you're saying about the demonstration, and they came in hundreds of thousands of numbers. I understand that, and you're saying, oh, what did it help? You went after hours, the Despanatum was closed. I get that, but if you ask anyone, they're going to say, oh, ինչ անեմ, տունը նստեմ, բան չանեմ.
Sure.
But
Today,
you have to
21st
understand their
century-
emotions are a first reaction to this.
Throw emotions in the garbage. Today is the 21st century, okay? When Azeris are hacking everything, that
Right.
means that the war is not on the ground. That's
Right.
one part of it.
Right.
Okay? We have lots of young Armenians who are savvy in everything digital.
Right.
That's another army that we need to utilize.
Of course.
By going to a demonstration where a bunch of kids, and I'm going to say bunch of kids, I was one of them 30 years ago. But now I realize that I was a stupid guy as they were stupid yesterday. By yelling, we want peace.
Right.
We don't want peace. Today, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, if somebody tries to attack me, somebody invades me, I don't want peace.
You wanna
I wanna
fight back.
teach him. I want to teach him a lesson that he will. For centuries, they have to learn that. Don't touch me. If you touch me, you are gone. I'm not going to say we want peace. We're trying to sound as if we are the the victim.
Right.
That victim mentality has to go out.
Right.
Logically, it is you approach me and you attack my border. Okay. I'm going to teach you
You're going to get what's coming to you.
And that's what the defense ministry said in Armenia. For every war you guys create, a new land will be taken away from you. And people
Or you can take, if you strategize correctly, you can take back.
Well, whatever it is, I know.
Right.
But it is, you try to attack me, I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Right.
I'm not here to say, please don't do this. No. And the international community will respect us more than just saying, you know, we're the victims. We've been on this land for 7,000 years. Why they want this land? It becomes a nagging individual.
Right.
And Armenians need to come out of their emotional stage.
Right.
Now, on a daily basis, there's almost $30 million being spent by the Armenian government on the military defense or aggression, defense or attempting to teach them a lesson.
Okay.
It's been 4 days, we have collected 15 million. I've been saying for so many years,
we need a bigger military, better military.
This has to happen since
before
91, 94, 95,
Not when
96.
shit hits the fan and then you want to collect money.
Because we Armenians love to react. We don't take
Plan
actions.
Ahead. Yeah.
We don't take actions. The only action we take is we pray. Hayr mer vor hergine says, and it's the same stupid prayer for centuries, where in it shows you how slave mentality you are. So things have to change.
But that's also emotion, that's also tradition, that's also embedded in them that you have to do this.
Exactly.
That's a topic of, religion. I'm an atheist, you're an atheist, I understand
I'm an Armenian.
Right.
I don't accept any label on me.
Okay, you are a godless person.
I am. See, those are man-made. Those are man-made to control each other by labeling each other.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not shoving anything down anyone's throat as far as religion.
My skin color is not white.
Yeah.
My skin color is not black. My skin color is not red. My skin color is a human being's skin color.
Okay.
It could be variations of colors, billions of shades of colors.
Right.
There are facts that Armenians have an amazing brain, but I always say they're rusted. Okay. What I do is I just rub just an oil in it so that it starts working. Right.
Well, we can get into topics of religion and prayer and this and that, but okay, those are just things that people say and do because it's comfort for them. Let them do it. I understand that. What I'm trying to get to is...
See, right now you're becoming, let them do it. No.
But I can't convince them not to.
But wake up. People wake up.
Right, but you can't change everyone's mind.
When the drone comes, and it's looking at you from 7,000 feet or 30,000 feet above.
And it hits you.
And it hits you.
Right.
There is no God to protect you.
Right, I understand that.
So be logical, accept the fault, and then move on so that we come better.
Right.
Luis.
I understand what you're saying. I get it. It's all logic, and based on a lot of conversations that we've had, we've been like-minded about a lot of things that need logic in order to move forward. And this topic is very emotional, and it can't not be emotional for people. But at the same time, they have to be proactive and not reactive.
Exactly.
I understand that.
But see, when you're emotional and proactive, you lose. When you're logical and you're proactive or you're active, you win. I always make an example of the Ararat movie. There is a scene there where they were shooting the movie, because there's a movie within the movie. So here we are in the self-defense of Van. There is the father behind, with his gun behind the walls, and then he sees his son being killed in front of his eyes. Okay, so immediately he becomes emotional, stands up, and he wants to go and kill the people who killed his son.
Right.
One person looks at him, shots him, and he's dead.
Right.
Okay, because he utilized his emotion, even with the killing of his son.
Right.
Okay, but if he was logical, he would say, "You killed my son. Okay, I'm gonna stay here right now, think about it, and then I'm gonna come from behind you and kill all of you." Now, are we promoting killing?
No.
If somebody wants to kill me, I will kill him.
Right.
I am. Throughout 24 years that people think that I fight with people and everything, it's always verbal. I have never raised my hand on one person.
Right.
But when somebody wants to kill me, I will raise my hand and I will be the first to kill instead of asking any question. So society, people try to be nice, politically correct. We have to be all those politically correct or socially correct issues. It is just to control other people.
Right. We will do whatever is necessary, but what I'm saying, when people are asking for peace, even though a lot of people would headstrong go ahead and just annihilate or go give up their life in a war, when people are asking for that, they just don't want more dead sons and husbands.
We will have lots of dead sons, dead daughters, dead wives,
right. But there's nobody helping us get to that.
We don't want peace. We want to protect our peace.
Okay.
I don't want peace with Azerbaijan.
Right. There's an old saying: if you want peace, you have to be ready for war.
I want to protect my peace.
Right.
What happens in their country is their problem, and they're having their problems. They have a dictator for almost 30 years. The same family is a dictator on them.
Right.
I mean, as I always say in my show, Abushim Megibi the last war. You have to be stupid for 30 years to follow a dictator that doesn't give you rights. Human rights. I'm not here to fight for their rights. I'm not an internationalist. I am an Armenian
fighting for your own,
who wants to protect his peace.
And how do you suggest somebody does that when really we have, I'm not saying we need a babysitter, but we have no one to really...
We have the diaspora. But
but the diaspora is here.
It's an unorganized diaspora.
Right.
We are so proud mentioning we are 10 million, 12 million. If I'm going to go with their saying, I don't think we're 10 million Armenians in the world.
Okay.
I believe if Armenians were smart, we would have been 120 millions. Because we alienate so many of those mixed marriages. We alienate so many of the people who want to do the right thing. I mean, some people want to say, what is the right thing? Not the stupid situation that we are at. I'm not talking about the war. I'm talking about Armenians in the diaspora. They go to one place. First thing is they build a church that makes them into more a slave. Second thing, they open up a school. They spend millions of dollars. None of the kids come out knowing Armenian, except I always make the joke that like the Turks said, we're going to leave only one Armenian and put them in a museum. We diaspora Armenians are helping that procedure, but instead of one Armenian, every school comes out with like 5 or 10 students. And then we say, look, those are the best of Armenians. But the remaining 400 students, they know nothing about their Armenian identity. They don't know the language. It is a safe place for Armenian kids to get together.
Right.
That's again emotional. So those kids who are like from every school, 5 or 10, those are for all the museums on this planet. But we need the whole race to be an Armenian. And being an Armenian is not yelling and screaming in a demonstration. If we were behind of at least 5,000 young kids 30 years ago, who for 5 years we educated them and supported them, instead of building churches, and each church has $20 million or $5 million, we allocated $300,000 for every Armenian young kid who wants to go into political science, international law.
And then what? Go back to their country and help?
Come
back?
No, we're in the diaspora.
Okay.
We're in the diaspora. And then we help them to achieve governmental offices. Okay. Today we would have the nuclear bomb in every government.
Right.
An
Because
an Armenian who has been supported by Armenians to reach there.
Right.
Now, every Armenian who has achieved some place right now has done it on his own. And then he or she will say, when I tried to ask you, take me over there, you guys denied me that right. Why should I become a person protecting you right now? Oh, Armenians will not say anything like that. We see.
But if those such things happened, if they did, what if someone had a great business and they wanted to take it to Armenia? Well, you couldn't do that before because of the corruption.
Business in Armenia is a totally different thing. I'm talking about preparing Armenians in the political scenes of every other country. Now, for 30 years there was this type of people. 10 years was Levon, another crook. 10 years was Robert, another crook. 10 years was Serge, another crook. Now we have Nigo. He might be another crook. Right now we don't know yet because time will tell.
Yeah.
Even when Jesus comes, as for the Christians that they want Jesus, Jesus, because everybody's going to go to heaven and see him. Even if Jesus is the 5th president or the 5th prime minister of Armenia, he would be a crook. The way things will change in Armenia is, for 72 years, the Soviet system has embedded in the human being, from Armenia to Kazakhstan, from Kazakhstan to Georgia, from Georgia to Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, to be a selfish person. I always say, others are building countries. We are building our homes.
Yeah.
Every individual from the past Soviet era who have been educated, they're building their own homes because they don't look in Armenia right now.
Because they can't do anything more than that,
no,
and then they just give back.
It's the selfishness. It's the selfishness.
But we're forced into that.
Others are nationalist. Armenians are selfish. When you buy a property in Armenia, the first thing you do is you build a fence.
Okay.
That's mentality. That's a slave mentality. You build a fence, and then you build a $3 million house in this huge land.
Right.
And then you cover it so nobody can see you. And there'll be a small door, which is, I call it the mouse's door to his home.
Okay.
To go inside, and he or she don't give a damn about anything happens outside that wall.
Okay, but
now,
you have to understand how they're reacting to the situation that is there.
So right now, it's been one generation of 30 years.
Okay.
Usually a generation is 25 years.
Okay.
Back in the days, I used to say it will take one generation for things to change in Armenia.
Okay.
Now, I'm saying in 3 generations, we will have totally different concept of what an Armenian is and how proud of an Armenian in reality and not in emotional, in logical. Today's young Armenians within that 30 years old, they're 50% logical, 50% illogical, because their parents and their grandparents, because you respect your elderly, because the Bible tells you respect your elderly, they're much stupider than you. You have achieved more knowledge. I'm not saying education. You have more knowledge, yet you have to follow somebody who doesn't know how to operate the iPad or the iPhone. But you want your kid to listen to your grandparent who is illiterate in today's 21st century approach of what life is.
Right.
So Armenians have to realize that, I know it's unfortunate, we think that we're the smartest of people. Yes, we are smart of everybody else, but to our own good. But when it comes to the collective, I have always said it and I will continue to say it. Now that we're stupid, now we see reaction to something that happened that's going to destroy our country. Suddenly everybody is ready, and I hope that readiness gives them the ability to become realist and logical for the next 5,000 years.
Yeah.
5,000 years.
You're right.
But we are very immediate right now.
Yeah.
I don't want people to forget that they need to give money. Now, whichever way, is it openly we're going to say to the Armenian army, or closed we're going to say to whatever we're doing.
Okay.
That from now on, we haven't done it for the last 30 years.
Okay.
But from now on, for the next 5,000 years, we have to give money, a donation that we utilize for the defense of Armenia. Whichever way they want to use it, let them use it. But
perhaps now that could work, but դու հիշում ես, արդեն ես 91-ից տեղ եմ, ամեն տարի during Thanksgiving especially, Ազանել որ կազմակերպում է, you know her. Okay, փողը 10 տարի առաջ, before Pashinyan, 20 տարի առաջ, whatever.
It was going in the right place.
No, it wasn't.
I've been volunteering there for 27 years.
Դրա արդյունքը ուր է, Stepan ջան?
Արդյունքը ուր է? Հոգիս. I'll tell you where the արդյունք is.
Okay.
We heard that Mardagit Highway has been bombarded by the Azeris.
Okay.
We heard that the Turkish Air Force entered Armenian land and they bombed and they hit an Armenian plane in Mardagit.
Okay.
Okay. Armenia Fund built the highway from Mardagit, from Vartenis to Mardagit.
Right.
I mean,
well, it's demolished.
I said the Vartenis, I said the wrong names, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the more important highway than an Armenian kid who is hungry. This is my personal opinion. Than an Armenian kid who is hungry in Vartenis.
Okay.
People, again, see, instead of building the country, we're building our homes. Somebody,
Because we're stripped of everything, Stepan Can. Yes, we are.
No, somebody say, okay, if I was living in Vartenis and my kid doesn't have a food and you're building a highway, okay, I'm going to be saying, you know, my kid doesn't have a food.
Right.
No, you put your ass together, okay, you can create food for your kid because that land is a fertile land. You can do something in the land and give food to your kid, okay. That highway is the reason that today we have Artsakh. Because, I mean, I can talk openly, but people might not talk openly because we need to show our agranerism or whatever we have as power, okay? That highway transports Armenian army from one location to another location.
Okay.
Okay.
But now, what about all the villages of people who have been starving, who don't have, who are sleeping on concrete? Not starving. Okay, they have they can farm, they can produce potatoes and vegetables and whatever, but their children don't have basic things.
There's a mentality in Armenia. 72 years, the Soviet Union, the Soviet Socialist Republic of Armenia, we are the greatest, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Taught them to be idiots. Okay, so the government has to provide to you. I go to the factory, I work in the factory, whatever, with the Russian accent and everything.
Okay.
Okay, now suddenly we are in a capitalist society that tells you, yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Now we see this thing even here in America. People come from Armenia to America. They want the government to help them in everything. The government hasn't helped me for 40 years. Okay? You have to do something. So this mentality is going to change with the generations to come. Right now, Armenia has an amazing generation of young kids who think differently because they haven't seen Lenin Babik, Stalin Babik, Khrushchev, and all those people. Here in America, we say, whoever is in charge works for me. I can walk to city of Glendale right now and tell whoever is sitting on the table over there, you guys are not doing the right thing.
Your job, yeah.
Okay? You work for me. I live in Glendale, but now I live in Armenia. Okay? Armenia right now, it's the same thing. The lowest denominator government office worker thinks he's the government and people have to be
his slave,
his slaves.
Yeah.
These things are changing. It's been 30 years. It's going to take another 50 years. It will change.
Right.
I'm a
slowly,
positive. I'm looking at things positively.
Right.
But we can do it with a knife, or we can do it with a knife that doesn't have sharp edge.
Right.
So go 100 years, 100 years, 100 years, and then suddenly we will cut. Now, and all this comes from the idea of being proud Armenian. We are not proud Armenians. We are proud that I know this guy who works in the government.
That's not the only way people say that. That proclaim that.
Okay, we are proud. Now, typical story is that, you know, I fought in the 1994 when the ceasefire happened here. Okay. When you fought, there were no drones.
Right.
Today, another 30 years passed. You were, let's say, 28. You became 58.
Right.
Okay. Me at 58, I cannot fight. But me at 58, I can do so many other things that
with up here.
That I don't need to be on the field.
Right.
So you have soldiers on the field. Their job is to be soldiers.
Right.
You have people who are on different positions, thinkers. Why do the concept of think tank? Armenians don't have think tanks. Armenians, they just go, let's go pray this Sunday because we're going to collectively pray because something happened.
Right.
But can we right now, because this thing happened, can we have think tanks, people sit down and say, here is the path for the next 100 years.
Right.
How every Armenian, every individual, because I always say, your parents could be Armenian, but you are not an Armenian unless you choose to be one.
Right.
Okay? Every born again Armenian has to do this thing. Every born Armenian has to volunteer at least 30 days of the year for a certain project. Is it military preparedness? Yes. Is it social media appearances? Yes. Is it serving an orphanage? Yes. We're talking about 10 million people. I think we're like less than 8 million, but don't tell the enemy about that. Okay?
Don't give out our real number. One of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, aside from everything that we just talked about, and it's very, we're getting really worked up about it, and rightfully so. We're talking about being emotional, and we're getting emotional talking about being emotional.
You are getting emotional.
No, you are getting emotional.
I'm talking about logical things, but with
Right.
an emotion so that Armenians can understand.
Right. I wanted to talk about the work and time and your own resources and money that you've put in to produce several books, which I didn't know about until you had pointed it out to me, because everybody just kind of sees your show and they don't see the back work that you put into preserving history, preserving facts, knowledge about our people.
For any action, there are two reactions,
Right.
a positive reaction and a negative reaction. We Armenians, I'm saying we, I'm not saying you guys, I'm saying we Armenians love negativity. We thrive, we plot.
Yeah.
My grandmother's sister was raped during 1915 genocide, and I'm gonna go and document the room that she was raped in. And Armenians will stand up and say, "Obrese Stepan!" And then clapping and everything.
Okay.
So I take the positive of everything. And people think that I'm a negative person, but I am the most positive person, because
Could have fooled me.
in every situation, I look at things from the positive perspective.
Right.
For 100 years, Armenians have tried presenting the negative to the world. They killed us. They took our lands. They did this. They did this. They nagging. For 100 years, the planet doesn't care about Armenians. Yes, politically correct leaders will say this and that. My approach is, Armenians have done so much for humanity that we need to present that thing. If an Irish person, a Chinese, a Dutch, a German, if they identify that their parents are alive, who could not be alive because their organ, the kidney or liver or something did not work, but there is a medication that they have utilized, and now this person is living because they were able to get another organ. I'm just giving one example right now. There are millions of examples.
Right.
They owe it to two orphan kids separately during the Armenian genocide, were sent into the desert. They've been collected by missionaries, came to America, grew up, got married from two different people, and then had a child. And that child is Dr. John Najarian, who was born in Oakland or San Francisco area, North, California, North, and then ended up to be the individual who created that medication to allow people who are not relatives to accept organs.
Oh, wow.
He passed away a month ago.
Nobody knows about it.
I posted on my Facebook, which 20 or 30 people liked the story, and then 3 people commented. 10 hours later, I posted my rings with another woman's hand, and there was an engagement ring on it.
Yeah.
And I said, I got engaged and I'm getting married February 31st, not even 30th, 31st. Okay?
Okay.
Within 1 hour, I had 300 likes and congratulations.
Right.
That's how naive we have turned. We are Armenians. Our abilities are beyond any other race on this planet.
But we're not utilizing it.
We're not admiring ourselves.
Right.
We always look at the other one. Did you see that what guy he did? I mean, this mentality has to change. Our younger generation has to be provided with abilities to be proud of their own DNA.
Well, you're doing that with your book, but
I know the whole planet. People want their blood, the bone marrows and everything they can give to each other.
Okay.
Armenians can only take from an individual who has an Armenian blood in him. And then suddenly you say, this Italian guy was able to donate his bone marrow to an Armenian person. Yes, because that Italian guy had an Armenian blood DNA in it, because back in like 500 years ago, 400 years ago, Armenians settled in Italy, and then there was mixed marriages. We denied them the right to call themselves Armenians because we are the proud Armenians. That's why we're only 8 million.
Right.
Because when the Basque went to Europe, there is an evidence, scientifically internationally known, the first inhabitants of the European continent are the Basques. The Basques are the purest of all Armenians.
Yes.
So
I read that book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
Armenian origin.
no, Armenians are first Christian nation. I'm not a Christian. People go, how come you're an Armenian and you're not Christian?
Yeah,
or if you're Christian, you have to be Armenian.
Yeah.
So my books are about Armenian contribution to humanity in the USA. My dream was to have the same type of a book with the flag of every country that Armenians have settled, and that's the planet, and their contribution in those
countries.
So basically, back in 2009, I look at the planet as Armenia. I don't look at it as Hayastan, because Hayastan is a Persian name for our country. We call ourselves Hais, and the stan is a Persian suffix. And we're so proud of the word Hayastan, but it is a Persian suffix.
Okay.
I call my country Armenia. It's the Ari man. It's the strong man's country. So I look at the planet as Armenia. In the old days, they used to conquer countries with weapons and soldiers. I conquered the planet by documenting it. So when I went to organizations, I said I need like $5,000-$10,000 to be able to document the Armenian, the Armenian in the United States of America.
Right.
They started saying, "Oh, you want to document Kirk Kirkorian? You want to document Alek Manogan?" I said, "No, those are not the Armenians.
Right.
You are proud of them because they achieved something in the non-Armenian." I'm documenting locations.
Right.
They could not understand the concept of documenting locations. I said it has nothing to do with genocide and killing. It has to do with happy endings. We are proud. We have this building. We conquered this community. We built them. Here is a monument. Here is this thing.
Yeah. A store, a bakery, a library, whatever it is.
We're all over the US.
Yes.
The American mosaic is full of Armenian stuff. They didn't comprehend, and they didn't want to support me. My hashtag for almost since 2009 is Sertramov. I do everything with your money.
Yeah.
And how do I do it? And I have collected lots of money, but I don't own anything. My money that I have collected went into all the projects.
Right.
I have a PhD in understanding Armenians. I can give that title to myself. I don't believe in institutions that they're going to give you a PhD because you have done this thing.
Right.
I know how Armenians think. So basically what I did is, since childhood, I have this affection or this desire.
Admiration?
Finding about individuals who have achieved something and it's being utilized by humanity.
Okay.
So in 1 week, I compiled 150 pages of individuals that I know. In 2009, when I wanted to document the Armenian, because I've been talking about it for almost 20 years, since 1990s. And then I decided, with your help or without anybody's help, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So in 1 week, I created a book with 150 inputs. And luckily, because I'm in the United States of America and because of the internet, and I was able to go and download the proofs, the patents of individuals who have created things.
Right.
And the whole planet is using it.
Right. And anything from typewriters to CT
Typewriters,
scanner,
no.
whatever it is.
Yeah, typewriters, Armenians, they don't like to type. Armenians like to talk.
Right. I'm talking about what they invented.
See, like
Yeah.
the handheld hairdryer. The hairdryer is invented in France, but the handheld hairdryer is invented by Gabriel Kazanjian in 1908. I found that patent. So I compiled something in a book, and I said, "You're Armenian. You know Armenians have created this thing. Look, this is the book. Give me $20, take this book." I sold 4,000 copies of that book.
Okay.
$80,000 since 2009.
Right.
And I'm still selling it. And I know my grandkids, if Armenians stay as stupid as they are right now, even my grandkids will be able to sell that same book.
Right.
Because we have pride in that.
Yeah.
So I was able to document the Armenian in America in 50 days by myself. And I didn't have money, so I sold books at every bookstore. We did the
Book signing.
Right. And I had $600 in my pocket and 500 books in my car. And I drove for 50 days and people bought books. And I was able to cover 560 locations.
Wow.
2012, it went up to 3 years, 2012, I said I need to publish this book. So I went another road trip, I sold again books and came back and I printed the book for $35,000 just printing expenses by selling $20 books.
Right.
Okay?
Wow.
Then I realized that Armenians don't like this type of books because they like misery. They like where my grandfather was killed or my grandmother was. Armenians talk about those things.
Right.
So I said it needs to be transferred into the digital form. So I created two
Audiobook?
apps. No, 2 apps. Our kids are on their smartphones. Parttime, all things Armenian, and people accuse me, "You're so selfish yourself. How come you're calling the app with your name, Parttime?" I said Parttime means wealth. And it is not the monetary wealth that every Armenian is after. Money. Parttime is the word for not richness, but nothing.
But not in materialistic ways.
Yeah, not in material.
Right.
So therefore, I'm inputting those things. Till today, I have documented 25 countries, everything Armenian. There are people who have documented churches only.
Yes, I know.
Because they're so proud of that church that has nothing to do with the Armenian identity. Church is a universal identity. Armenians are not universal. They're not internationalists, they're nationalists. So therefore, I created the Parttime app, and then I created another app called April 24th. They're free. I'm the richest person on the planet. I give it as a free app to every Armenian on this planet.
Right.
April 24th is not about the genocide, it's about the genolive. The content of my books, yes we have, are in April 24th app.
Right.
They can download it.
Right.
And my dream was to have books of every country of Armenian locations, which in the very near future I'll be releasing the 25 countries, a travel guide to every Armenian destination.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because as much as the app is free, but people like to have books and I can make more money and utilize it to cover another 58 countries. And I have a deal with whoever kills people that I'm not gonna die till 58 countries are documented. Therefore, before I die, I'll leave a legacy of documenting everything Armenian on the planet. There'll be an app called April 24th, and Parttime, that will exist at least 100 years after
you're gone.
Because I'll be financing the Apple Store and the
Android.
Well, the Android, Apple, you need to pay $99 every year, and then I need to pay $12 each month for the service that keeps off the data in there.
Right.
So I'll be paying, before I die, I'll be paying all those things for 100 years.
Right.
And hopefully younger generation would understand what I have done and they will continue. Hopefully. If they don't continue, it's their loss. I did my part of spreading my wealth and my knowledge to every Armenian who wants to be an Armenian. Because being an Armenian, it is not a birthright. Being an Armenian is a choice, and you have to be born again as an Armenian.
Right. I always enjoy talking to you, and You're always coming up with new topics and new books and new ideas. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming to my home and sharing your passionate opinions.
I'm always like this.
Yes.
Till the day I die. And I know one other thing. That's the finale I'm going to say. When I die, my soul will be all over Armenians on the planet, nagging them for every time they use the word John or merci.
I'll be sure to repeat this episode
once I die
Yeah.
and Armenians start using that word, I'll be around, my ghost will be around them, trying to scare them.
I don't doubt it.
So that they will not use the word John or merci. And other things we'll talk about later on.
Okay, thank you so much for being here with me, and thank you for tuning in to listen to Stepan and I's conversation, and we'll keep you posted on what's up next on my Instagram handle. Thank you.